Are we well? Just waiting for the adverts to finish. Good morning, good morning. Da, da, da. Oh, got a bit of sun then. Oh, the sun's just come out. I'm going to have to, I'll just move for a moment and then I'll go put the blind down. Good morning, how are we? The sun's in and out today, so I'm trying to dodge it, but I think I'm going to have to put my blind down. So I hope you all, I'm a bit windswept today. It's really windy still. We've had a few casualties on our estate with fences and trees and all sorts of things. So I hope you're staying safe where you are from the elements. I'm going to turn the camera around. And there we go. Is it just me and you this morning, Maria? Okay, it did say I had 4 waiting when I was waiting to start, so I don't know where the 4 people have gone, but oh, now I've got 4 watching. So I've had a couple of people tell me that they're going to have to watch on catch up today. So I've got my little coffee. Oh, I've got 5 now, so please do say hello. Oh, we're going to do another daffodil card this morning using the daffodil. Hi, Karen. Oh, what time is it in Minnesota? Gosh, I must be your early morning breakfast visitor. We're going to do another lovely card today with the Daffodil Daydream. This one has got quite a few techniques on it, actually. It's getting to be quite advanced, this one. So if I do say so. This is the card I've done. Now, you may not have all the things to do all the techniques, so I'm going to go through things step by step with you. And you don't have to do some of the things if it's not your style. You can do it as you want it to be. So if you're on this morning, please do say hi. Please do a thumbs up. Some of you have. That's amazing. Okay, so in our pack, 6 hours behind. So 4:30. Oh, wow. So in our pack, you've got to look very carefully in here. You should have a pale papaya card base, a piece of very vanilla. Then you've got the background thanks in vanilla, and you have an old olive thanks. You may need to pop some of the little centres out. That's going to lay on there like that. And then you have to look very carefully, but you've got 3 little classic matte dots. They are the vanilla ones, because I'm going to show you a little technique with those. So don't lose those. If you're wondering what the thanks is, where that is from, I can show you. It's actually one of my favourite items. Hi, Ali. It's actually another person from Indiana. Wow, at 4:30. I'm hitting the USA this morning. The thanks are actually from a bundle that you could probably miss. They're from this amazing silhouettes bundle. But if you're not into the stamps, you can just buy the dies on their own. They're £25. And you've got thanks, you, amazing, and R. So you can do thank you, you can cut the S off, and then you have like the background ones for the shadow. Oh yeah, if you go to bed early, then yeah, fair enough. If you get your 7 or 8 hours in. Okay, so what we are going to do first is we are going to cover the whole of the front of our card with this piece of paper. So it's papaya and vanilla, and it's got that on the background. Mine's already the right width. You have to put yours down from the piece of 12 by 12, but it needs to be 10.5 by 14.8. So I will write that down in the chat. I love the dies, Maria. I really hope they bring some out that say happy birthday and things. There we go. That's the measurements. And that can simply be stuck on to the front of the card like that. We're covering the whole front of the card up. Ooh, a sort of match. I'm wearing Calypso Coral today, so I'm a bit peachy. We've got a bit of a peachy colour theme going on. I think I'm ready for a new glue. Just realised I normally do a little bit of a sales pitch at the beginning for the upcoming classes, which I haven't done. And I haven't even got my stuff out, so I will have to... I'm worldwide, Italy, oh my goodness, whereabouts in Italy? I love Italy. I remember when one of my boys was little, he said he wanted to live in Italy because it was all his favourite foods, pizza, pasta and ice cream. That was when he was little. They're 19 and 22 now, so... Okay, so that's stuck on the front like that. We can put that to one side. And now we're going to grab our piece of Very Vanilla. If you're crafting along, I'm in metric, I'm on A4, then this is 8 centimetres by 12.3. But it doesn't matter what size you do it, as long as it's slightly bigger than the daffodil and you've got an equal border. I've got about a good centimetre all the way around. That's what I've done it. It's 2 centimetres smaller than the, or is it 2.5? No, it's 2.5 centimetres smaller than the card base, which is about an inch smaller, an inch in total. Okay, so stamp set. I'm going to use this image again. And what I have done, it's this one. I've pre-prepared this so you don't have to watch me cutting this out. But what I've done, and this is really quite tricky, is I've made a mask of this stamp, okay? And what I did was I've stamped it onto some scrap paper, okay? And I've cut it out, and I've cut it out right on the line. I've not left a gap at the side, it's sort of right on the line. And it is quite tricky. Now, you don't have to do this stage. This is one of the stages you don't have to do. So I'm only doing this to create this sort of area of papaya at the back, this blended area. You can simply stamp on and colour in, and if you don't have a blending brush, then you don't have to do this stage. But what I'm trying to do on these coffee and cards now is some people have been doing them with me for quite some time. So I'm just trying to step up the level of ability and level of difficulty, I suppose. So if you don't want this peachy background, you don't have to do this stage. So what you do is you stamp it onto some scrap, any scrap paper, cut it out, and then I'm going to pop on a bit of glue, but only a tiny bit. I'm just dabbing it on. It is a bit messy, this. If you don't like mess, you won't like this. Oh God, sorry, it's really noisy. Someone's being interviewed downstairs and now it looks like they're showing them round, and they don't seem to have the quietest voices. So what I'm doing now is I am dabbing this off just so it's sticky, but it's not permanent sticky, yeah? So it's tacky, that's the word that you want to use. It's a bit tacky, okay? Not tacky as in bad taste, tacky as in a little bit sticky. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stamp in basic grey onto my project with the larger daffodil. Trying to drown out those ladies outside. Don't know if you can hear them. And I'm going to stamp this. Just watch the edges of your stamp for any excess ink. So I'm going to stamp this down like that. Beautiful. Beautiful image. Okay, and I can close this ink pad up. I'm done with that. Now, if you haven't got a blending brush, if you haven't got a pale papaya ink pad, you don't need to do this stage, so you can just watch me. But what we're going to do is we're going to pop our mask over the top of what we've just stamped. Oh gosh, that girl's voice. And we're just going to pop it over there like that. Okay, so it's sort of stuck down, but it will peel off. Let me just show you. It will peel off easily. Yeah, now they've gone now. Okay, so I'm going to take my ink pad, and I need some scrap for this, so I'll use the bag that my kit came in, and I'm going to tap this on here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub around. Now be careful, because this is quite delicate with these leaves and buds that are sort of on the edge of the stamp. So I'm going from the middle, so I'm going sort of taking the ink off on the actual mask that I've created, and then I'm just rubbing in a circular motion. Any comments? No. We're very quiet this morning. Oh, we've got 11 on. If you could do me a thumbs up, that would be brilliant. And if you're watching on replay, I'd love you to leave me a comment. I always do and try and reply to any comments. So, is the person from Italy still on? And Indiana, how did you find out about me? I'd love to know. Because Karen's a regular. A Minnesota Karen. Okay, so can you see I've got like a nice peachy glow? I've got a nice peachy glow about me today. I've got a nice peachy glow around the image. Okay, and I can peel this off now. And there we go. How cool does that look? Hey Ali, I love it. I love it, love it. Now, there is a tiny bit in the middle there that where there isn't really a daffodil. So what I'm going to try and do is just get a bit of ink on the edge of my brush and dab it over. And I'm going to colour over this anyway with my blends, but it just makes it less vanilla-y. Okay, so that's that done. That's our little peachy. Hi, Anne. Is it actually Angela? If it is, I'll be seeing you on Thursday. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the old olive blend that you got included in your kit, and I'm going to do a little line with the darker one. Just going to go up and do a little bit. Just to add a little bit of dark on each of the... Some of them are really thin, so it's difficult to sort of try and do a blend. So I've just added a little bit of ink there. Let me just... And then I'm going to grab the light one. I'm glad you like the masking, Karen. It's a bit of effort, but if you've got the gear to do it, if you've got a blending brush and an ink pad that will match, you could do this with daffodil ink as well. If any of my ladies who are crafting with me have daffodil, could do it with that. And what I'm doing is I'm going over the dark and blending it together with the light. Like that. I've got a little bit of a gap, so where it's daffodil and it's not, so I am going to cheat this. Now luckily I've got a papaya blend, so I'm just going to go in and just add a bit of colour there. Okay. If you're not blending, then that obviously is not going to be an issue. Okay. Oh, I've missed a stalk. And I've missed one over here as well. Oh, gosh. I'm not with it today. Okay, there we go. So for the daffodils, we did this last week. I'm going to grab the dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to use the lines on the daffs. Just going to go over them with the dark one. I'll do one, and then I'm going to colour the trumpet, the bottom of it there, and then just do along the bottom of where it sort of flowers out. Like that. Always click the lids in. And then I'm going to go over with the light pen and blend the two together, so the dark ones don't look as much like lines that I've coloured. Okay, can you see the blend there? Now if you want to, you can go over and add a little bit more. If you just want a little bit more depth of colour, there we go. I might not even go over and blend that again. I'm going to maybe leave that as is. And then I'm just going to carry on doing that with the others. So talk amongst yourselves while I colour in. Oh, thank you, Melly. I've been to Italy a couple of times. Well, actually, I've been a few times. 3 maybe. I'm going to, like with the other one, I'm just going to go back over with the darker one because I'd like a little bit more depth of colour. So I'm just adding a few more strokes of dark onto the project like that. Yes, you can. You're supposed to use Memento. That's the black ink that you should use. But you've got to use a water-based ink because you're using an alcohol marker, so you've got to use opposites. But I'm using Basic Grey, which is water-based, because I find it's less harsh. I like the grey, that it's stamped in grey rather than black. Basic Grey is probably my most used ink pad. Okay, so I'm pleased with that, and I'm going to pop that just to one side for a second. Now we've got these 3 dots, these matte dots, and I'm going to use the nib, the bullet end, sorry, not the brush end, and I'm going to colour them in with the dark blend. So I'm going to colour around the sides. I'm just going to set those to one side now. So they're now yellow. Our dots are yellow. Okay, so the final bit of stamping I've done, and again, you don't have to do this, is if you have a look at my project here, and I know that I'm still zoomed in, I've used there's a spotty, like splat, like a flicky stamp here. if you want to do that, if you like it. Some people love it, some people it's not for them. But I want to do that on here. I'm giving you the choice to do it or not do it. And I'm going to use Old Olive. Now, if you want to stamp off first, you can see how pale it's going to be. So I'm going to stamp like this. Yeah, I'm probably going to stamp off and then just keep going. It just adds a bit of, some people don't like it, some people love it. It's just an additional extra to cater for all tastes. There we go, just do one there. Okay. Right, now, you will see from this one that I have distressed the edges because I've got quite a distressy look because I've put all the splats all over it. It's quite a distressy card. So I thought that would lend itself to this look. Now, some people either love this look or they hate it. Let me zoom back out. They either love it or hate it. So again, this is a personal choice of what you want to do. So be very careful though, please. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to run them. I actually ripped mine when I did it before, which just meant it was a little bit too distressed. But again, it's another technique that I can show people, and the choice is yours. We're just breaking the fibres down. Be extra careful on the corners. All right, so we end up with that now. Now what some people do is, like that's just started, some people would curl that over a little bit. So it's a bit like, you know, old paper, parchment type thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to glue the thanks to the thanks. So the Old Olive one to the vanilla one, just to make it pop. And just do little dabs of glue all over, on the wider parts particularly. And then I'm going to take that to my background, thanks, and just get it, they do move about a bit, these. So I'm just going to grab my scissors, manoeuvre it to where I want it to be. And then we have that lovely, lovely thanks. Yep, and then that is going to stick directly across there onto the project there like that. Yep. Now obviously we've got a little bit more of an area to pop our glue. Just be mindful that it's just a little bit wider than the actual piece of card. So the part of the T, that it may hang off your project a little bit. So just be mindful of that when you are putting your glue on your word. And that's going to go on there like that. Just have a drink. If you're on and watching and you've enjoyed it, I would love it if you could do me a thumbs up. I've got some new viewers today, which is brilliant. So now I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. And the fact that you can see your colouring through the other side is absolutely fine. They are amazing, the dies. As I say, I really, really hope they do some more in the new catalogue. Okay, so we're nearly there. We've done so many techniques today. Don't forget we have these little yellow dots. Okay, so there's 2 small ones and a large one. So I'm going to pop one up here. One over here. And one there. And there we have our finished card, and I would really love to see what you do with yours. Please do share on my group or send me an image and to what sort of levels of technique you've done. I'm just going to go grab a few bits, so just stay with me because my laptop needs charging. Okay, so this is one I originally designed when I was looking at designing the class, and the papers weren't from the daffodils, so this was the first sort of go I had with it, and it's a very, very similar card. I've still done the dots, but I've added some ribbon, and so this is just to show you another version. The ribbon was pale papaya as well, but it's been coloured with a stamping blend. So you know, you can colour ribbon as well, but that was just a bit too much to do for this one as well because the paper wasn't right. So I decided to go with this one. So yeah, I really love this card, and it's one I came up with all by myself, so even more, I love them even more when I've not cased them from someone. So before we go, I'm actually so surprised that I've done that and it's still not 11 o'clock. So before we go, I just want to remind you about any classes, any bookings that are, and closing dates that are coming up. So this weekend is the closing date for my cactus class. So here's a little card I've done with the cactus cuties. The event is on the 19th of February. But one that I want to tell you about is my In the Moment class. So the booking, this is on the 26th of February, and I'm doing this class online in the morning and in person in the afternoon. And I have 2 seats left in person on the Saturday the 26th of February. Booking will close 2 weeks before the event. All my bookings close 2 weeks before at the moment, so because shipping is quite good. So that would be on the 12th of February, and this is the stamp set we're going to be using, and these papers also. That's one of the cards, and that's another card that we're going to be looking at. And this is one where it opens up and it's an actual gift voucher holder, so it's a nice special card. And booking closes on the 12th, so that event's on the 26th of February. So if you've got any questions about any of the classes, just email me here and I will help you, julie@thepaperhaven.co.uk, and you can book the classes here. Oops. events.thepaperhaven.co.uk. So yeah, as a rule, classes close for booking 2 weeks before the date of the class. All right. Next week's card, let me share next week's, is this one. So it's a little bit different. So we're going to do this one next week. So quite a bit of colouring next week. Okie doke. But for now, I will leave you with today's card. I'm not going to do a Facebook live this afternoon because I've got to do some filming for an event that a demonstrator's asked me to talk at their event, and I need to do the filming for that today. But I'm hoping to try and do a Facebook live tomorrow night on a Wednesday evening, because I got the house to myself tomorrow. So I thought I might do a cheeky Facebook live tomorrow night. So watch this space, and I may see you tomorrow evening. But if not, we will see you on Thursday evening. Thank you for watching today. Thank you for keeping me company. And if you do have any questions or want to know any information, please do drop me a message or leave me a comment on this video. Have a lovely Tuesday, and I will see you soon. Bye.